43% of Americans expect to work until they die, double what it used to be. Meanwhile, half of Americans say it is, quote, not realistic to expect a comfortable retirement. This comes from a recent survey by consumer finance company Wallet Hub, with similar numbers from a May survey by State Street. The driving it, of course, is stagnant wages, soaring prices, especially housing and medical bills, and above all, soaring debt that Americans are using to bridge the gap. Starting with wages, while deportations are finally growing blue-collar wages, real household income has been down since 2019, the first time that's happened since the 2008 crisis. In fact, it's never happened outside of recession, which we allegedly did not have under Joe Biden. Meanwhile, even though inflation is moderated under Trump, there's still a massive cliff from post-COVID inflation, when prices rose 25% by official numbers, maybe 40% unofficial. The problem with big inflation jumps is people initially respond by going deeper into debt to maintain their previous lifestyle. Now, 5 years later, that is catching up, with Americans taking on additional $4 trillion in debt, hitting $20 trillion in household debt. That includes $1.2 trillion in credit card debt that carries 24% interest, slightly lower than the mafia. That's not even getting into housing, where the combination of a 40% jump in home prices, a doubling of mortgage rates, and soaring insurance and property tax means the median mortgage payment is now $2,300 a month. Before the pandemic, it was $1,200. Add the debt, and the interest and incomes don't buy close to what they did before COVID. For anybody below middle class, it is hand to mouth. A recent Fed survey found almost 40% of Americans cannot cover a $400 emergency. So how are Americans making ends meet? Easy, they are raiding retirement savings. According to the BEA, the national savings rate is now 4.4%. Before COVID, it was 7.5% to 8%. The 1980s, it was 11%. Meanwhile, according to Vanguard, the average 401k balance is just $38,000, which will get you through about a year and a half of retirement. Then the last man standing, children. Children are the traditional retirement account. You have a bunch of kids, raise them right, they pitch in to take care of you. When you're old, of course, that no longer happens, with the fertility rate plunging post-COVID to just 1.59 children per woman. Given 30-somethings are still eating ramen with their roommates, that's not remotely enough to carry elderly parents. So what's next? Brought to you by I Trust Capital. For 200 years, every generation doubled incomes like clockwork. This broke in the 1970s when Nixon finished off gold and handed the economy to an inflationary Fed. We exported our jobs to China and Mexico and imported illegals to finish off blue collars, while Wall Street feasted on the real economy. Trump's doing what he can between deportations and manufacturing, but there is a lot of ground to make up, and the clock is ticking for millions of Americans. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.